And then.
Okay, looks like it let me do it.
You're recording?
It said this meeting was being recorded. It looks like it.
Yay. Okay, super awesome. Yep. Thank you so much.
Is there any way to double check and make sure? Or I don't know.
It says recording on mine.
Recording. The top left.
Yes. Thank you. Yay. Okay, awesome. So moving forward, I'm going to share. Oh, only the host can share this meeting. That's my concern. So
make yourself the host. It's co-host. Yeah.
Co-host. Let me try again. If that doesn't work, though, I think.
Oh, here we go. I allow participants to share the screen. Did that work?
Let me try.
Yeah, that's right.
Yay! Okay, it's coming together. We're gonna get this. Okay, so moving back to semester 3, I'm about to wrap up my summary, and then we can get into some dialogue, because that's the exciting stuff. Okay, so everyone can see I have a research paper. This is a picture of Thomas and I'm giving him a lesson on the number rods. So it's not a typical research project paper, because we think of like having all this data and like qualitative and quantitative research. This, I guess it's qualitative. It's observing in the first and third person as I'm giving the lesson. And Montessori observation is crucial, and becoming aware of your inner thoughts and the perspective of the student. And so we focused on autopoiesis, which is self-organizing systems. We focused on like symbiotic relationships. So I am learning as I'm giving him the lesson, and he is learning as I'm giving him the lesson. And there's that flow of energy in and out, and we're both co-learning, we're co-creating. And that was my research paper that tied into basically my reading material from the 3rd semester. And then basically what resonated from that paper and from the 3rd semester was I'm creating my own reality, and I'm self-organizing. And the symbolic, I'm becoming more and more aware and intentional of symbiotic relationships around and within me. And then creating a culture, like regenerative culture, by going through my cosmic purpose and helping myself, others, and environment. And then, so this is like a lot of healing. Like I love trauma-informed learning, conscious disciplines. So integrating that healing aspect into my teaching and living. And then perspectives, holding space for others, and that love being the healing that I want to focus on. And so integration of all 3 semesters, this is kind of like my focus, my emphasis on my final paper, which my final paper is going to be all of my 3 past papers put together and then add more into that mix. So Head, Heart, and Home is the name of my business. And what it represents to me, the head represents Montessori, the Montessori method, and nature and play-based learning. And what I wanted to focus on in my hero's journey and integrating those 3 semesters is how to support neurodivergent learners. And that just recently came to me, like literally last couple of days, because I'm just realizing, this is like a journey of my differences and how to like harness them to benefit myself versus like shame myself and like self-sabotage or whatever. And then heart is heart-led intuition and love-based support, conscious discipline, social emotional skills. And so I'll move on. Home is the prepared inner and outer environment. So inner is like your nutrition, your exercise, your body, and then outer being your living spaces, the classroom environment, your outside environment. And then practical life in Montessori is care self, others, and the environment. And so home, I think of, caring for our home and, as our body and our community, our families, and then self. So the goal of like the home, the systems thinking about that is self, others, environment being grounded and interconnected and a symbiotic self-organizing ecosystem. And then my hero's journey, the separation, the beginning, we went over. I left the familiar, which was previous Montessori school in Charleston. And then I started unlearning my conditioned self. And then initiation, the middle, was getting into the groove of Ty's dialogue and papers. And then my darkest cave was not graduating or believing in myself. And then battling the dragons of shame and despair. And then the return, which is to the present moment, is repeating second and third semester Ty's, feeling more confident and clear on what this experience means to me, and becoming the hero of my journey and honing my neurodivergency differences, giving myself grace and learning new skills for myself and creating an ongoing relationship with my creative self and differences. So integrating, and then one more big one, the Ty's integration with my whole life in my head, continuing to learn how to help myself with executive functioning skills. I'm nourishing my sense of wonder, and I'm asking and leaning into questions versus depending on having answers. And to me, that's like leaning into my faith and my inner intuition, and leading with my heart and helping myself and others self-regulate, using a lot of the times I'm using like conscious discipline skills. And then my home is the prepared and support my environments, my body, my wherever I am, and my groundedness. And then find feedback loops, kind of like work smarter, not harder, and find my center, like groundedness. And then it's a lot of stuff. And then 6, practice. So let's go ahead. I'm really curious what you guys are thinking and what's resonated for you. So I'm going to switch back to my face. I wish I could have shown you my face and the presentation, but that's okay. I'm here now. And let me know, like anyone, go for it. And okay, that's no worries. Natasha had to go. So go ahead and tell me what resonates with you. Any thoughts, anything. If you want. And make sure when you're talking, you unmute yourself. And I don't know if I am in control of that. I think you're in control of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering like how COVID impacted your progression. Did you find that you had to do anything differently because of COVID?
Well, everything was online. So the biggest impact with COVID was probably, the social aspects of isolation and mental health, like feeling isolated or fear. And so, I mean, I'm pretty introverted, so it wasn't like a super huge impact for me. And I actually felt Ty's helped keep me more connected than if I didn't have Ty's and was during the pandemic, because we're like friends on there. We're really invested in like each other's stories and like what resonates. And it's a very personal journey. Helena, as you know. And so I felt, and Helena, you and I both were in Ty's before the pandemic hit. So we were like, just doing our normal life, and then everything changed. And now the program I'm in, they've always been in the pandemic and doing Ty's. So it's very interesting to observe the differences. So,
yeah, very interesting.
It's a lot of information. I'm sorry if I like overwhelmed you guys with a lot.
I remember feeling that way when I was giving my oral presentation. Just being like, oh no, too much. You did
It's
great
so
before.
much. Thank you, Helena.
So did you change your
Helena,
project? Like when you said you had to do it twice, did you go back and change your IP? Was it IPA? What was it?
see, IP1,
IP1.
IP2, and then CP. I know.
Okay.
So my integrative papers, it's very complicated. The first integrative paper I did it way too long. It was only supposed to be like 20 pages. I did 75.
Oh.
And then my mentor was like, you did like your CP, like the final project at the beginning. So you need to like slow your roll, go back. And I needed a lot of help with editing. And so I used that IP and I kind of had the same direction, but then I had to really edit that paper, basically writing a new paper. And then I did my IP2 twice. I don't even want to know how many pages I've written through this program, like it's hundreds. But, you know, I wrote an IP2 twice, and now I'm writing the IP3 for the second time. But I'm able to, like, add stuff from the previous papers, especially if it's about the materials, because my perspectives have changed, but the content, you know, information hasn't. So
Interesting.
Oh, anything else?
The 7 life lessons of chaos?
Yes.
That really struck a chord with me. I feel like I need to read that.
That one's so good.
Can you give me more information about what that all entails?
Well, it's been a while since I read it, but the main thing was just like chaos is a part of life. It in all the like nature systems, there's, you know, like life and death. And so what resonated with me, you know, Aunt Clara died when, right before the pandemic happened. And so there was a death. It was fresh. And it was an old wound at the same time of my aunt dying. And so for me, my inner journey was like accepting this chaos, accepting death is necessary to breathe life. And so it's hard for me to verbalize a really super awesome summary because it has been a little while since I've read that one, but my takeaways may be different than like a direct summary. Helena, can you add anything in?
I felt like almost, because we read that the first semester, and it only just occurred to me, I feel like that book in particularly helped prepare us more for the pandemic than I think we thought. Because it really is about embracing chaos, both in natural, like, so they talk about the fractals, and like creation and how like you need that balance. Like you can't have order without chaos.
Sure.
So
I think I need a little bit of that in my life.
So
okay, good to know. I need to read. I'm gonna buy that one.
And that one, I think we actually had one of the writers with us in the discussion dialogue, like for our discussion posts. So that was also like having a dialogue with the actual writer was also very, very valuable.
That was so cool.
I loved it whenever Thais could do that.
I did too. I thought that was really special. So I'm going to go back to the presentation. I want to share with you, I created this little activity. We're required to do like an activity part to this, and we're almost done, just letting you know. But I have like manifesting abundance, and this thing like came to me. I recently discovered my sidereal astrology as like a manifester generator. And I don't know if anyone's like into that stuff, but I was like, whoa, this makes sense because I'm really creative. I'm good at coming up with ideas. I can manifest things pretty well. I'm a good networker. And so I thought about this like activity because it's like near New Year's. Everyone has like New Year's resolutions or whatever, but like more about just focusing your intentions on what your goals and values are for yourself, others, and your environment. And just bringing that awareness of like, okay, today it's, right now it's January 2022. So what for your head, your academic or your executive functioning, like what your learnings, what you're wondering about, what are your goals and values for your head, heart, and home right now? And then think, and you can write this on paper if you're willing. That's up to you. And then the next one, you can just think about it too, and we can talk about it. The next one is like a year from now, what do you want for yourself, your head, heart, and home? And then 5 years from now, 2027, what are your goals and values? And then in 10 years from now, 2032. And this was something I thought was cool to think about. I work with families and their families, with young children who are going through some challenges, and we all have challenges. I'll mind map in my journal challenges, like whatever is stressing me out, and I'll try to just process what is going on with me, or what I'm stressed about, to get it out and process it. And I thought it'd be cool, maybe possible, like journaling exercise, manifesting abundance, of like envisioning your future self and where you want to be, and what skills you need to get there. So does anyone want to share their thoughts about this? Or it just came to me last night. This is kind of really off from what I imagined I would be doing.
Honestly,
I love how you
I
broke
love
it down into. Oh, sorry, Helena.
Sorry, you're fine. I love
No,
it
I was gonna say,
because
I love that you broke it down into head, heart, and home. I think
Mhm.
that I almost picture it as like a Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Like you can like that's how I would map it in my brain, I guess, which I thought was interesting. But personally, my goals as of right now, I feel like I'm in a very big transition stage of like my career and also my home. I'm thinking about moving. I'm thinking about changing my career. I'm trying to figure out where my heart's at. So I don't know. It's kind of a lot of moving pieces.
And I want to
something
let
I should probably
everyone
think about.
know that Sunshine is an incredible toddler educator. And Helena, you're also working with toddlers, right? In Montessori classroom?
I'm doing infants mostly.
Oh, infants. And
Yeah.
Sunshine right now is working with primary, and she's trained in toddler. And I got to observe her working with toddlers, and I'm like, just gobsmacked about how wonderful Sunshine is with them. But yeah, I think that's cool. You two are both, the 0 to 3 educators, Helena and Sunshine.
Oh, that's good to know. We should connect.
Yeah.
Helena, what were
Trials
you
and-
going to say?
I love this activity because I know that for the most part, I feel like we all defaulted to mind maps. And so honestly, I love how this isn't a mind map. I love mind maps, but this is like another like version of it. And it's like
definitely linear, which I'm not sure how I feel
Yeah.
about, but
yeah, but you can make it into a mind map. But I do love how this is just encompasses where your headspace is at and where your heart is at in your business, and incorporating everything in from ties and from conscious discipline and from like, it's just, I love it.
yay. Thank you so much. It's so nice to hear that, because I'm a little isolated. I'm not, but I am. I've got Jessica Flowers here. I don't know if she's still on.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
I mean, how cool is it? Jessica and Helena know each other. They're conscious discipline connected. And then
she went to my preschool when she was a little person.
it's so wild. I love that we're all here together and that you all have been an important part of like bouncing off ideas with, and having all like kind of similar paths but very different. So I'm excited we're all here together.
Well, I have something to add because I love this manifesting abundance too.
Mhm.
So I have this, and you can Google it or whatever. It's called Wish Beat, and she has like 14 days of how to manifest something in your life. Now, I did not do 14 days. It took me it took me some months to do 14 days, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But, and as Helena was saying, you know, this is very linear, but I didn't make it linear. I made it more like what you all are talking about, a mind map. And I just picked one word, and I, you know, the pandemic, I live alone, except here's my girlfriend. There she is. There. Yeah, there she is. Anyway, I was like, I just need stability in my life. So that's the word I worked on. And it took me, I'm going to say maybe 3 months working through this. And lo and behold, I feel like I have stability. So she gives you it. I don't know if you can see it.
Mhm.
The mat. And if you look at that little logo thing, and it's called Wish Beads, and she gives you a 4-minute thing to think about, and she wants you to journal about or whatever. And I thought it was really good, and lo and behold, I've got stability. So I feel like I have stability in my life, and I credit it to manifesting. It's that manifestation that Euphoria is talking about. It's we have great power if we just harness it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. This I don't even know where to say, because it's just such big things, and I, you know, this cosmic task of mine, this higher purpose, has been very pushy for the last, you know, I don't know, 5 years. It's been very strong, but then I'm like overwhelmed by my lack of like organization, or like how in the world do I go from here. But it's, you know, everyone's like, oh, it's wonderful, you know, everyone's like so impressed by me, which I'm like, what? But it's the ties has given me that support of, and honestly sometimes not support, I'm on my own, of like figuring this out for myself, which is a good push. It's like sink or swim. And manifesting for me, I'm trying to manifest helping as many people as I can is ultimately the goal. And in order to do that, I have to help myself. And, you know, all of the conscious discipline work has been incredible for me, because I can practice my self-regulation and get to the higher centers of my brain, so that I can really help myself, so I can help as many people as I want to. And so, you know, the 7 powers and 7 skills of conscious discipline with Montessori, you know, is blended in with ties, has just been this phenomenal feedback loop of creativity and support for me to be in the place where I am. And I have to constantly have visions and be as detailed in my vision and of what I'm creating and what I'm trying to do. I'm constantly focusing on my values and my goals and my values and my goals, and then trying to receive the support from others, like all of you. Just really helps propel me forward. And so I've been in a cocoon for a while, you know, it's like I thought I was going to die in the cocoon, you know, it's like I'm never going to get out. And now I'm like, I feel myself like starting to rip it open and start to get out there and like really believe in myself and just like push it to the rim and like try to give this a shot, even though it's terrifying. So I have another activity for us to do and I want to transition because I want to be respectful of your time, and it's already been an hour. So let's go back to the presentation. And what do I have next? It'll be a surprise for me. I forgot. Okay, mind map.
It is a mind map.
Hello, mind map. Yeah. Oh my goodness, mind maps. So this is what I encourage you to do, if it will help you, if it benefits you, and to share with others if you think it would benefit them. For planning, problem solving, and processing, like journaling, you can explore your journey or challenge you're currently experiencing by placing it in the middle of the page and drawing a circle around it. And they encourage you to use different colors for each idea, and with branches coming out of the center to the ideas, and then you can like keep spinning off. So what I showed you before, you can share anything, a hero's journey, like anything you want to share. I was going to include the Brene Brown quote, but it was like, vulnerability is the birthplace of creativity, resilience, and like all this stuff. And so I can hear you, Mom. Oh, you're not talking. So anyway, we can do that. If anyone wants to share, like, what's your hero's journey? That's very personal. Or what is something what's a challenge you're going through, and can any of what we talked about help you integrate support for yourself or for a challenge for others, or something like, would any of that from the first, second, and third semester apply in your life somehow, I guess? And you can take a minute and journal. We can just talk about it. Just let me know.
Hey, Fori.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sick right now, so my voice is kind of But I think, like, part of my journey has been kind of like my hero's journey, because talking about Aunt Clara died, like, right before the pandemic. And last Christmas, what was Christmas before she died? It was like 2 Christmases ago. I was talking to her in Christmas because I was sick that day, which I think I had gotten COVID at that time, so I couldn't see her. And so I said, Clara, I'm worried about you, because we had just went to the doctor, to the health doctor, to the heart doctor, and the heart doctor had given me some bad news. And so I told her, I said, I'm worried about you. And she said, well, I'm worried about you. So that's been a huge thing for me. It's like, trying to get past the grieving of it, and then being okay with the grieving and going through the process of the grieving. And because she was like truly my best friend. So, but anyway, the journey has taken me to the point where I've taken like a really active part in my health, which has been really awesome, that I've made that decision for myself, that, that's my journey. Because Clara, the guys that didn't know Clara, she was a very selfless person. So she cared about everybody except for herself. And so she would like help anybody anytime, and she helped me like my whole life, and my children, and all of the family and stuff. So I'm sorry, but it's been a lot. And so I'm glad to see that I would have never thought then. I thought that everything was over, back then, but I couldn't see a future. And so I'm just glad that I've come full circle with that. And it's still hard for me to talk about it, but I'm like a totally different person now. So
And now
doing
you're
good.
able, oh, thank you, Mom. Now you're going to the gym and you work out a lot, and you're actually like going to try to be a water aerobics instructor. And so you're really taking on the hero's journey of working on your wellness, and that's so wonderful. I'm so proud of you as well. And I think that's beautiful, that gift that she wanted for you of taking care of yourself, you're able to like live in her honor and do that. So that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for
Yeah,
sharing
and
your
just like,
vulnerability.
well, when she told me that, like it took me off guard. I was like, why are you worried about me?
Yeah.
You know? And so, I mean, like, honestly, if I don't take my health as something that's important, then I won't be able to like be in a place where I want to be when I'm older. I don't want to be in a place like where I'm being taken care of. I want to try to be able to take care of people as long as I can. That's my number one goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But thank you for including me in this. I've enjoyed it.
Yay, I'm excited. Thanks for sharing. Does anyone else want to share anything about their hero's journey? Or anything? It could be anything about the presentation. I think we're about to wrap up, so please feel free to share anything you want.
I thought it was really well done. I wonder if we could get some of those books and like the titles, so I can read some of them later, because they went by kind of fast.
Yes, I could totally send screenshots of that on the presentation for you to look up.
We should also have a bibliography that we can share too, possibly. Just all the
Yes.
sources that you use in your prep paper.
Yes, exactly.
But I know for me, one of my goals is like regrounding. Like I feel like because of the pandemic, I've been in survival mode
Mhm.
for now 8 months, a year, 2.
Mhm.
Just with ups and downs in work.
Mhm.
But so like a lot of that's trying to figure out how to reground, how to like out of survival mode. But I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
So.
And my heart goes out to, you educators in either public school or private school, or, I couldn't do it when I was doing, Sunshine knows it was like pulling teeth that last 6 months there. I was not fitting into that puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
I was a different puzzle piece, and I needed to go into a different puzzle. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore. And you guys are going through some challenging, heavy stuff, and you're wonderful educators. And I love y'all and love, your spirits and your intentions. And, I wish you guys so much wellness.
Thank you. It's been wonderful. I'm so proud of you, Euphoria. You're doing it.
Yay, I'm doing
You're
it.
so close. You're almost done.
Yes.
Do you have a graduation that we can be like a part of?
I do. I could invite y'all. It's I think they usually do like family, friends. Helena, you did it last year, right? I didn't attend it.
Yeah.
I wish I did.
Yeah, they do ask that because it's all on Zoom. So they all ask that it's just kind of immediate family, and that you have only like 1 or 2 extra screens. But at the same time, I know that I know they record it, so you can always send out something. So
cool.
Because I think I did that. I think I sent out the link. Like, it's like, this was my graduation. So,
yeah. No. I was really wanting to go to Colorado for graduation. I was like, sadness.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to go if it was in person.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad they changed it to online.
Yeah.
So, but
Well, thank you all for being a part of this. Thanks for being vulnerable and for listening and giving me like an hour and a half of your time and all my technical difficulties. I appreciate it. And does anyone else have anything to say before we go? We're good.
I
All
just wanted
right.
to say, hey, lean into the chaos. That was like everything. And of course, you know, right when we are at the end is finally when my son has stopped jumping around the house and I have quiet. So my hero's journey in the last hour and a half is that I came to a place of quiet. So that's pretty
Nice.
awesome. But yes, lean into the chaos.
Now, Dana,
That was powerful.
so I want to introduce you, Dana, because I think you are such an incredible individual. And my group doesn't really know you. I mean, we don't know everyone exactly, but Dana, so moving up to the upstate, I've been following like her. She has got so many things going on. You've got the upstate forest. I mean, what is it called now? It's like, is it outdoor learning community?
Forest school and outdoor learning community, because we had branched off from the Free Forest School group after COVID.
That's right. So Dana is just incredible with outside of the box thinking and alternative education and like unschooling. And I mean, it's awesome. And so you're really a pioneer to me in nature-based learning and neurodivergent learning. And it's awesome. So I'm glad you joined this because we had kind of talked about you looking into ties. And so I'm glad you joined this to kind of get an idea. It's hard to explain, to sum it up, but thank you for being here.
Of course. And I just wanted to, at the end, jump on and let you know that I had been listening the whole time. It's just, my son has literally been parkouring throughout the house. And if I had been unmuted, it would have just kept jumping back to him and taken away.
Oh,
from
yeah.
me. So.
You are all good. It's a lot to ask an hour and a half from everyone. So you are all good. Thank you for being here. So anything else, anyone? You good? All right. Well, if that's it, I'm going to go ahead and go. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. And Summer, we'll try to send me the video or something. I'll text you.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Thank you everyone so much. And I'll keep in touch with you all at some point.
thank you for sharing.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.